The Bhagavad Gita, a revered scripture in Hinduism, forms part of the epic Mahabharata. It consists of 700 verses divided into 18 chapters and captures a profound dialogue between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna, his charioteer and spiritual guide. Chapter 5, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, or the Yoga of Renunciation, addresses the paths of renunciation, sannyasa, and selfless action, karma yoga, offering insights into living a spiritually fulfilling life. At the beginning of Chapter 5, Arjuna is confused about the path he should follow. Torn between renunciation of actions and performing actions selflessly, he seeks Krishna's guidance on which path is superior for his spiritual growth. Krishna, understanding Arjuna's dilemma, explains the merits of both paths and how they ultimately lead to the same goal. Krishna begins by explaining the concept of karma yoga, the path of selfless action. He emphasizes that performing one's duties without attachment to the results is a form of worship and a way to attain liberation. Verse 5:10, one who acts by dedicating actions to Lord or Brahman and by renouncing attachment, he does not become polluted by sin, just as a lotus leaf is not by water. Krishna assures Arjuna that by dedicating all actions to the divine, one can remain unaffected by the outcomes, whether positive or negative. Action is inevitable, and even the act of renunciation is an action in itself. Therefore, one cannot avoid action altogether. It is the attitude towards action that matters. Karma Yoga teaches that one should act according to their dharma, duty, without any desire for personal gain. This selfless attitude purifies the mind and leads to spiritual liberation. Krishna then discusses sannyasa, the path of renunciation. Sannyasa involves giving up all material desires and renouncing the fruits of one's actions. It is a path suited for those inclined towards contemplation and meditation, requiring a high degree of self-discipline and detachment from worldly affairs. Verse 5.13, the embodied man of self-control, having given up all actions mentally, continues happily in the town of 9 gates without doing or causing others to do anything at all. However, Krishna points out that true renunciation is not merely giving up external actions, but also internal renunciation of desires and attachments. A true renunciant has conquered the mind and senses and remains steady in wisdom and peace. Krishna emphasizes that both paths, karma yoga and sannyasa, ultimately lead to the same goal, spiritual liberation. While sannyasa is suitable for those with a contemplative nature, karma yoga is more accessible to those active and engaged in the world. The key is to find a balance and integrate the principles of both paths into one's life. Verse 5.2, renunciation and karma yoga both lead to liberation. However, among these, karma yoga is superior. Krishna encourages Arjuna to adopt karma yoga as it is practical and can be practiced by anyone, regardless of their stage in life. By performing his duties with a spirit of detachment, Arjuna can achieve the same state of enlightenment as a renunciant. Krishna delves deeper into the role of the mind in attaining liberation. He explains that the mind is the source of both bondage and liberation. A mind attached to worldly desires leads to bondage, while a mind free from desires leads to liberation. Verse 5.23, one who can withstand here itself, before departing from the body, the impulse arising from desire and anger, that man is a yogi. He is happy. Therefore, controlling the mind is essential for spiritual growth. Krishna advises Arjuna to practice meditation and develop a disciplined mind. By focusing the mind on the divine and detaching from material pleasures, one can achieve inner peace and stability. One of the central teachings of Chapter 5 is the realization of the self, or Atman. Krishna explains that the true self is eternal, unchanging, and beyond the physical body and mind. It is the source of all consciousness and the essence of one's being. Verse 5.24, one whose happiness is within, who is active within, who rejoices within and is illumined within, that yogi attains absolute freedom. Realizing the self involves transcending the ego and identifying with the universal consciousness. This realization brings a profound sense of unity with all creation and leads to a state of pure bliss. Krishna encourages Arjuna to seek this higher knowledge and experience the divine presence within himself. Krishna highlights the importance of equanimity and wisdom in the spiritual journey. He explains that a wise person sees all beings with equal vision, recognizing the same divine essence in everyone. Such a person is not swayed by pleasure or pain, success or failure, and remains steady in all situations. Verse 5:18. The learned ones look with equanimity on a Brahmana endowed with learning and humility, a cow, an elephant, and even a dog, as well as an eater of dog's meat. Equanimity is a key virtue in both karma yoga and sannyasa. It allows one to perform actions selflessly and remain detached from the outcomes. By cultivating wisdom and equanimity, one can overcome the dualities of life and attain liberation. Krishna concludes chapter 5 by describing the supreme peace that comes from realizing the self and living a life of selfless action. This peace is beyond all worldly pleasures and is characterized by a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment. Verse 5.29, one attains peace by knowing me, who as the great Lord of all the worlds, am the enjoyer of sacrifices and austerities, and who am the friend of all creatures. Those who follow the path of karma yoga with dedication and sincerity will experience this supreme peace. They will be free from the cycle of birth and death and attain union with the divine. Teachings of this chapter could be applied into daily life as following. 1. Apply the teachings by performing duties without attachment to the results. In personal or professional life, adopting a selfless attitude can lead to greater fulfillment and peace. 2. Regular meditation practice can help control the mind and develop inner tranquility. Focusing on the divine or a higher purpose during meditation can lead to a deeper spiritual connection. 3. Cultivate equanimity in all situations to lead a balanced and harmonious life. Accept both success and failure with the same attitude to remain unaffected by external circumstances. 4. Pursue self-knowledge and the realization of the true self for spiritual growth. Reflecting on the teachings of the Gita and integrating them into life can lead to a deeper understanding of one's true nature. 5. Find a balance between renunciation and action to live a spiritually fulfilling life. Integrate the principles of both karma yoga and sannyasa to achieve spiritual liberation while remaining engaged in the world. Chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita offers profound insights into the paths of renunciation and selfless action. Krishna's teachings emphasize the importance of performing duties without attachment to the results, controlling the mind, and realizing the true self. By following these principles, one can attain spiritual liberation and experience the supreme peace that comes from union with the divine. Please help me in the mission of sharing these profound teachings by liking, commenting, and sharing this video. Your support will encourage me to create more spiritual content. Thank you.